Today I'm going to show you how to set up an assignment within Rubric Hero. The first thing that we want to do is make sure that we have Rubric Hero open, but we also want to make sure that we have the folder where we're going to get the contents as well as any videos that you may want to include. So let's get started. So on the Rubric Hero page, you're going to notice that it automatically opens up to this grade part. Now we already have a rubric set up, so what we want to do now is we want to add an assignment. We click on add an assignment, you're going to get this little flashy thing that says, hey, it's loading. And now what we want to do is select the course or courses. Now for right now, you can only select one course that hopefully will be upgraded soon. You're going to notice that I am going to select my period 1 course, and then I'm going to add an assignment. I'm going to add a title here. I'm going to say DBQ. I'm going to give it a number. This is 004 DBQ benchmark. So once I have my name typed in, then what I want to do is select a topic if I do have a topic within that particular class. And currently I don't have any topics, which is fine. Then I'm going to go over here to my rubric. I want to make sure that I select my DBQ rubric. And for the max points, I'm going to give this 0 points because this is a diagnostic test, so it's not worth anything. The due date, I want to set my due date. It's going to be Tuesday, and it's going to be at the end of the day. I'll show you how we can tweak the time on that a little bit later because you can't do it right now within Rubric Hero. So right here is my due date and the objective. So all right, so after I've actually entered all this information about what I want the students to be able to do, and again, I have some type of learning objective, my learning check, so this is actually what I'm going to be grading. And I like to tell the kids this is how my assignments are kind of posted. Now, of course, you can tweak this to however you want. And then down here, this is the attachments area. So if I have any attachments I want to be able to add. So I have a YouTube video, so I'm going to click on this little slider. You'll notice that then there's a field that opens, an input field. So I'm going to copy this URL, I'm going to paste it in, and you're going to notice that it just grabs the ID for that particular video, which is perfect. Now what I want to do is I also want to add some Google Docs. These are going to be viewable sources, so the students can view them, but they cannot actually edit them. So I'm going to go over here to my electoral college part. I'm going to make sure that the documents are actually viewable to everyone. So you may notice that there's a viewable here, but we need to make sure that it's correctly applied. So right here are the instructions. And I definitely want the instructions to be viewable, so I'm going to click on that. I'm going to open it. I'm going to grab this URL. I'm going to make sure that's shared, and it says anyone within my particular school district, and that's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I have that link copied. You know, I think I already did that before, but that's okay. I'm going to go over here to the linked websites and viewable sources. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to add another source because I do want another one. And I'm going to go back over here. And let's see here. Instructions is what I just grabbed. Okay, you know what? I think that's all that I need. Actually, I want the rubric. So I have a paper rubric or a document rubric, and I'm going to now share this with those students. So I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to go to share, make sure that this is shared with everyone within Darien Public Schools. Yes, it is. I'm going to copy the link. Now I'm going to close, I can close all of that as well. And I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to click that. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have documents, right? So the documents I want to be able to add, I want to make sure that I add my responses probably first because it'll appear, at least it should appear, in the order that I put it in. So again, I'm going to go copy and I paste this, and you're going to notice now it just grabs the ID. Okay, so up here, these particular documents, it's the full URL, and the students are going to be able to view it. This one, it's going to make a copy. And if you notice, I'm just going to delete this for a second. You're going to notice that the post down here goes away. So anytime that you end up adding assignments that you want to give to the students, it requires then that it's posted as a draft. So it grabs the ID of the particular document. Let's go now into this. Okay, so this particular document has all of the documents like document 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the students to be able to analyze, to look at. And I want them to be able to highlight and edit this particular document. So because I want them to edit this particular document, I'm going to add. So notice I just pressed this little plus sign. Now I'm going to paste. Okay. Now you need to make sure that any of these pluses that you have down here, that they're filled. And if they're not filled, I'll show you what happens. So Schedule 4, you're going to notice that we selected the due date before as Tuesday. So we need to figure out, well, when do we want to schedule this for? So I'm going to schedule this for Monday, September the 14th. And what you're going to notice is that it will actually post for 12 a.m. Now, again, you can change that, but right now, let's do it this way. Now, you're going to notice it says set delay. So it's going to schedule the assignment. So I'm going to set delay. Uh-oh, one or more fields needs to be completed. Okay, so and I'm going to get this error message right here, right? So if you notice, there is, I put this little note here, can only be done as opposed to in scheduled draft, okay? But also, if it's empty and it's, if it feels like it should be filled, then it's asking you to fill it. So I'm going to just delete that. I can check over my other fields just to make sure that I have everything. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, yep. I have no other warnings, so that's it. So I'm going to go back to scheduled draft. Right here's my schedule for. I'm going to set the delay. And it does take a little bit of time because it's connecting with the server. And after it connects with the server, then it's posting this assignment and all the materials. So you get this notification down here. It says success. What I want to do now is, because I had that in period 1, I'm going to go to period 2. We're going to post it again. Now, if you had a topic, because each course may have a different topic ID, because it's not just the name within Google Classroom and the API. There are IDs that are assigned to those topics, so you may have to change those particular topics. So I've got that in period 2. Now I'm going to go to period 3. And again, it does take a couple of seconds for this to actually post, but once it's there, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. Okay, again, success. And now I'm going to go to period 8. And again, if I had a topic, I would have to change it here. Okay, so now I'm going to, I did do period 8, right? Yep, okay. And post. So this video is going on 10 minutes, which is a lot longer than what I anticipated. But I think you get the feel for how to add your links, videos, if you have videos, and of course your Google Doc, you'll get the notification again, but down here. Now what I want to do is I just want to go to Classroom real quickly. So I have my classes here. So you're going to notice in coursework there is a DBQ benchmark, and it's due at 12:59 p.m. So a funny thing about this API is with the timing, because it uses Zulu hours, and apparently it's based off of the server in Google's end. It adjusts the time automatically, so I was having some difficulty with that, but I think, if you need to go in here and you need to change this, then, just change it. and or get rid of the time even, because you're required to have a time if you end up scheduling through this API. Okay, so you can see now this is the assignment. It says make a copy for each student. So for those two particular documents, the response as well, the electoral college information and the readings. The instructions, of course, students can view. The rubric, students can view. And of course, there's this YouTube video. So this is now set up. If I want to add a topic, I can still make those changes here. I'm just going to click schedule because we have it scheduled, and leave it at that. Now within your application, so I'm finished with this. I'm not going to need to make any more copies, which is good. So I'm going to close it. Within this assignment now, what you can do is you can click on grade. You're going to notice any of the open files. So if you have open, you can check them here, or you can look at closed, okay, if you're looking for closed assignments. This particular assignment is here. If I want to filter by a certain period, I can go to period 2. I can see the open assignments right now for period 2. And I can click on this, update. And right now there's nothing to update, but you can see that there are no attachments according to this. So I would have to pull those attachments before I start grading, and I get the attachments by clicking on this particular button. Okay, so you could do that technically now. I recommend waiting until you actually post the assignment, because that's when all the work is going to be created anyway. These percentages, it says NaN right now, not a number, but eventually this will populate with a number. And then of course, if you want to grade an individual student, you can click here, or what you can do, and I'll just show you what this kind of looks like. Or what you can do is, you click Save Next. So it has all the criteria here, and then of course it has the rubric part here. So when you click on that, it starts to populate. You're going to notice it says not a number still, because it doesn't recognize any of these other fields. But once you start to click away and give those things points, you're going to notice then you're supposed to notice that automatically updates. So it looks like I still have a little bit of an error in here, but I'll try to work through that and see what's going on. All right, so if you have any questions, feel free to email me, and that's that.